iPod, iPhone, lights. What if we made a movie about us making a movie?
Hello, friends. It's the Cinemondo podcast with all these people whose names I can't even. There's too many names today.
There's a lot of names.
We have special guests.
Yeah, we're very happy to have iconic Ivan Leung and Harrison Shu / Ryan / Tim / Jake. So we'll explain that, why he's got all those names. But thanks, guys, for coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much for.
Thanks for having us. Wow, what a cool intro.
I was shocked. I was bedoozled, bewildered, and
Bamboozled.
bamboozled. That's what it was.
Bamboozled. I know. We love movies. We love Hollywood, and clearly
Yeah.
you guys do too, because you made a movie about it. So we had to put our Hollywood best on for you.
Well, we've all worked in it. We've worked in the industry for like longer than you guys have both. Like if you add up both of your aliveness, that we would longer than that.
I'm just a little baby.
He's just a child.
But we still love it. We still love movies. Oddly enough, we never got jaded.
That's right.
Yeah,
Wow.
well, let's talk about the movie first.
Yeah.
Extremely Unique Dynamic, which was released by Strand Releasing on January 25th, and is available for everybody to watch. And we'll get into the film. It's really a lot of fun. It is. I mean, to call it a sort of a film within a film within a film, stoner comedy, relationship movie, and there you see all the wonderful reviews. 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. You guys should be very proud of your work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, thank you.
Good.
Wow, we love movies so much that we made 3 movies in one.
Yeah.
You did. A meta.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's before we get into the actual film, because we're champions of independent filmmaking. We've all made films ourselves, short films, all independently. But you guys, you decided to. I'll let you tell the story. But you wrote the script, you made the film, and it's now released. Give us some in depth into how that really came. How
does that work?
Yes.
Right, take it away, Harrison.
Oh, me? Oh, okay. Well, so Ivan and I have known each other for over 10 years. We met in acting class, and wow, I'm spotlighted. This whole thing is so crazy. This is cool. So fancy. Yeah, so we've known each other for a while, and primarily just as friends and actors. And a couple of years ago, like my character in the movie, I play a digital marketer in the movie, but I do film marketing in real life.
Me
worked
too.
on. Oh, you do? Great! Yay for film marketing!
Film marketing.
I used to.
Oh, good.
Well, from a marketing perspective,
We'll dig into that also.
Yes, absolutely. But one of the movies that I worked on was called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Ran the marketing campaign for that, and at the time I needed help. So I asked Ivan to come and run the social campaign with me. And that was our first time professionally working together. And it was super fun. And in a way, it kind of was like a test run for future projects because we were just copywriting together, like creating social posts and things like that. And we realized we worked really well together. We work very... we're both workaholics, but we care about different things. And
Workaholics.
Yes. And we just got along really well. And we're like, wait, we're kind of funny together. And then I was about to move from LA to Canada. So we were like, well, why don't we make a movie together? And that kind of just became this film.
Let's just make a movie. How hard can it be?
That's exactly what happened.
So you just picked up a camera that was laying around nearby and...
Oh, no.
Oh.
First, we were stoned on the floor, eating Thai food, talking to each other, asking each other, like, should we actually make a movie, or should we just like create like a drop shipping service and try to like make
It was not we, it was you, and I told you it was a bad idea.
Oh yeah, he always
drop shipping.
Yes, the person that shoots down all my ideas is Harrison. He keeps
keeping it real.
Yeah, I'm you can call me Positive Polly, while Harrison is a realist Reagan.
Oh,
Really? Wow. Okay.
There you go.
Well,
Wow.
see, the thing is, I was like, Ivan, if you're going to throw money into a fire, you might as well do it by making a movie with me instead of creating a drop shipping company for Reed warm up. pieces
Okay,
or
you're
whatever they
telling
were.
everyone about my ingenious idea.
Oh God! Now everyone's gonna do it.
Yeah,
So
I'm
sorry.
sorry. But
We
yes,
will cut that.
well, yeah, like we always wanted to work together, but we've never gotten to because like when you have two Asian guys in a friend group, it's kind of like, oh my God, it's like too many Asians. It's
Oh, no.
a movie now. And it's kind of like interesting because like Asian American entertainment just basically started probably like 10 years ago, like mainstream wise and Fresh Off the Boat. And then once Fresh Off the Boat came out, then there was, you know, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Shang-Chi, and Crazy Rich Asians, which really changed the game of seeing like, oh shit, Asian guys can be attractive as well with like nice jawlines, the nice six-pack abs. But like working as a working actor, because both of us are professional working actors, for the past like 10 years, there's not a lot of in between this so far yet. It's always the hacker, the nerd, the information pusher, or it leans all the way to the other side after Crazy Rich Asians with like the nice body, the smoking hot eyes, the
Tell us more.
But what about the regular guys in between? And we wanted to just create our own opportunity. Was that a good answer, Harrison?
Why are you asking for approval? Ivan loves validation from me. And
Don't we all though?
You know, extremely Kathy, when you work in marketing, there is one person that kind of delegates everything, and you kind of like get called out if you do like one little mistake. It's like, oh, Ivan. Well,
Yep.
That's what Kathy does, actually. She is that person.
Oh no! Oh no!
No, it's not true. It's not
She
true.
is a director.
I am a creative director, but I'm a nice one.
A nice one.
I like
Me
to give
too.
validation. You're a creative director too?
I like giving validation when it's earned.
It's earned.
The marketing industry, as we know, is full of criticism, as is the film industry. It's all criticism. So I like to just bring in some positive with the criticism.
Yeah.
So it's basically what we do.
Yeah.
It's
And
like
you
that
mentioned-
passive aggressive thing. This is really great.
I really
but can
like
we
it.
totally change everything about it?
I and just to throw it out there, I did the first few seasons key art for Fresh Off the Boat.
Oh, cool.
Right? The car one where they're hanging out of the cars.
Yep.
Kind of That
Yeah.
was one of my.
That's awesome.
It was so fun to work on. They were so cool, and I was thrilled to see the cameo. Should we spoil it? Who's Hudson Yang? In there?
Sure. Yeah.
Love that he was in that. Love that.
Yeah. He's grown so much since you last worked with him, probably.
I was like, is that him? Wow. Okay. So good. So you guys are working in marketing, you're working on drop shipping. You go, hey, instead of that, let's try this. So then tell us how it goes through. I'm endlessly fascinated with how movies come together. And you guys did such a great job just making it happen. So tell us more.
Well, I feel like when people ask us like how this came about, it wasn't like something that we had always envisioned doing together. It kind of just was a spur of the moment thing. Like after working on Winnie the Pooh, we were just talking and we were like, what if we just made a movie? And then we were spitballing ideas, and I don't remember exactly how it got to the meta, but I do know like one of my favorite musicals of all time is called Title of Show, and it's about people making a musical about making a musical about making a musical. And we were like, well, no movie's gone that meta, so like that's like a big inspiration for the meta part of it. But then, you know, they always tell you write what you know, and for us, like, we took that very literally, but also we heightened our characters and, you know, created a lot of additional like conflict and circumstances. But yeah, Ivan.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to talk about feelings and our friendship and have a nice, intimate Duplass brothers, skeleton twins moment. And with our powers combined, we are heroic and
better than Duplass. Aha!
No, don't say that to Boss Mark.
Exactly. I love him.
But you know, the thing that people really want to know when you make a movie, everybody I mean, when you work on films, you are around films, you're promoting them, you know how you witness how they get born and all that. And a lot of people see all that, they see the process and they go, I could do that. It's kind of like this realization. It's like, it's not this thing that's completely out of our reach. I could write a script, and you have all these thoughts and you're like, I could be an actor. I could do, and what people really want to know when you make a film, you're telling us the origin story. What the people really want to know is, how did it go from there to being a finished film?
Yes.
Did you write a script? Did you come up with a concept? Was it a pitch? Did you pitch something to someone? How was it born?
Tell us your secrets.
Yeah. Well, for us, because we knew we had a limited timeline, because I was going to be moving, and
Right.
when we had the idea, we just kind of went with it, and we were like, how can we get this going as quick as possible? So at first we were like, let's actually shoot this movie in a weekend like our characters did. And we were initially going to just self-finance it for a very tiny amount. And then we brought more people on board, and then the idea grew and it grew and it grew, and it became what the movie is. But a big part of why we were able to move so quickly is we did ultimately self-finance the film. Ivan and I split the cost of it. And the script itself came together super quickly. We had the outline done the next day. And then from there, we had an initial scriptment done in 2 weeks after that. And our script's actually only about 28 pages. So it has how each scene starts, how it ends, and certain lines of dialogue that we absolutely wanted to hit, and then questions that we could ask each other to prompt certain responses or topics that we wanted to talk about. So there was a lot of improv in the film. And how we did it was we cross-shot with 2 cameras, and we would roll 8 to 10 minute takes where we would just riff off of each other.
Nice. Okay.
That's smart. That's what the Duplass brothers do with some of their scripts. Their scripts are only about 30 pages, and they sort of beginning and end. And that's really smart, especially since you know each other very well. You sort of can play each other, off each other. So that's a really smart way of doing it. I also think the fact that you're going to move to Canada sort of gave you this impetus. Like, we have to do this, because a lot of people will write a script, and then it just sort of lays there because you don't have the impetus to try to find the money or, find the crew and do that. So you had that, and you shot it in like 5 days, right?
Yeah, we shot it super quickly. And like, I'm totally guilty of the script thing too. Like, I've had 3 finished scripts that have been sitting there forever. And I feel like sometimes momentum really is everything, and just having your own self-imposed timelines, because we had the momentum. We were just like, all right, we're going with it. And we have a deadline to do this, so we can't overthink things. So we just kept going. But I think we've all, as filmmakers, fallen into the trap of trying to perfect this thing forever. And it just never
like
is
wait
good
for the
enough.
right moment.
Exactly. And you kind of just let the ship sail, and then you're on to the next thing, or life happens. And
but it's also gutsy. I'll send this to Ivan, like, actually taking some of your own money and putting it in, because there's no guarantee that you'll ever see that money again. It's not the greatest investment financially. It's an investment in your life, an investment in your creativity. So was that sort of hard, saying, hey, whatever the amount was, like coming up with that and saying, I'm going to just put this into this movie and let's see how it goes? Was that sort of a challenge for both of you?
It was, but at the same time, like I said, I had such a high trust with Harrison. I knew that Harrison wouldn't screw me over, and I hope that he knows that I would never screw him over. But there's a saying, called "ignorance is bliss," and I did not know. We thought that it was going to be this amount of money, and then it snowballed into more, and then it's exactly what we tell all filmmakers to not do. And that's why you have a producer to say, this is how much you can spend. But we did not really do that. And just kind of snowballed. And luckily, it just really worked out in our favor. And also, we have, once something starts, me and Harrison are really good at, egging each other on to finish. So our personalities, like, it just complements each other. We care about different things. So like the things that starts unmotivating Harrison motivates me because that's what I care about, and the things that I do not have as much motivation with, Harrison is like, oh, so gung ho, like this is how to do it. So it feels like, like I'm puzzle one and he's puzzle two, and then it
Right.
just went together into like a nice wall.
That's perfect.
That's
So
that's
while
like-
you were filming it, did you know you had something special, or were you filming it going, oh my God, what do we do with we're spending all this money? Like, how confident were you'd made something special?
I think that like,
When did it happen?
oh, when did it happen? Well,
Has it happened yet?
Did you know? Do you still do? Are you aware?
I think that, like, like when we were kids, we used to just pick up a camera and film with our friends and family, and then when you bring it home and you edit it together and show it to your parents or your neighborhood, you're so proud and you're just laughing. And when we were filming it, in my perspective, that's what I was hoping to do too. Like, I just wanted to just film good moments to see like if it's reading, and just really go for it for things that like I've always wanted to express but was never able to, because as actors we're only able to act within the confines of what we got. And we just wanted to show everything off and see what we can capture and have as many authentic, honest moments as possible. And the magic really happens when, in my eyes, during post with our editor, when we were going through all the footage and putting everything together, and we were like, oh wow, that was really nice and beautiful.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
That's the
feeling.
thing that I've
Great.
noticed a lot in my many years of working in film is that actors often make the best producers and directors, and just the energy of an actor on the set is different from a person who is, there's great directors who are not actors, of course, but
There's a few.
there's a special thing with a person who has a lot of experience acting, the way they work with actors and the way they get certain things from actors, and the feeling on the set. There's always that feeling. If you've been on a lot of film sets, you walk onto the set and you immediately sense there is a disease on this set. This is a bad, unhealthy set. Nobody's happy. Nobody's being treated with respect, and everybody is being, whipped into doing what they're supposed to do. But then you walk on other sets, and a lot of times it's because there's an actor energy on the set where the actors are completely loose and free, and there's a lot of freedom. And do you feel like that's super important for making a film that exudes honesty?
Yeah.
Oh, totally. I also like going back to what Ivan was saying about ignorance is bliss, but also like us as first time filmmakers, we didn't have to live within the confines of what we thought filmmaking was. We
Right.
did things our own way.
You
Some of
invented it. Yeah.
yeah, very unconventional, but also like random things. Like we had the best lunches in Crafty, but like that
Oh,
made
right.
people really happy. Because like
That's
as
important.
That's so
it is
important.
important because as actors, like we know showing up on set sometimes you're like, oh, like the food sucks and like everyone's in a bad
Yeah.
mood.
Nobody respects us because they
Yeah.
didn't give us good
They didn't
food.
get good food.
Yeah, but also like without any spoilers, the last shot of the movie before the credits was the first shot that we actually filmed.
Oh,
So it was a really great way to incorporate everyone, and everyone just got really
That's cool.
comfortable. And yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's very cool.
And you had a third director, of course, Catherine Dudov's on this. So let's talk about her and how she got involved. And then you can start getting into the actual plot of the film, because there's a lot to talk about there without giving away too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ivan and I, like, we had the initial idea, we had the outline, and we actually came across one of her videos on TikTok where she was talking about how it just filmed something for a low budget that was mostly improvised, inspired by the Duplass brothers. It was one location, few actors, and we looked at the film and we were like, oh, like that's very similar to what we want to do. So we had some mutual friends. I had someone introduce me to her and had coffee and just pitched her the idea if she wanted to come on and help, because it's Ivan and I, it's our first time directing something, and we're in almost every scene together. So we felt like it would be nice to have someone's experience that she had already done something very similar like a year ago, and also just to be the eyes behind while we were both on set acting with each other, just as a third perspective. So it was really helpful having her. And then we also had a lot of help from like our other producer, Noel Domerkami, who was also really integral in providing notes, and kind of with what I was saying before about how we didn't have to abide by what filmmaking was. Like everyone wore a bunch of different hats and everyone was
Right.
very involved, and we just, everyone's ideas were very valuable.
Yeah, we when someone had an idea, if our cinematographer wanted to try something out, if our editor wanted to try things that he hasn't been able to try before, we were very collaborative and we were very open to the ideas. Just because, like, one, like, I mean, I feel like, and also with our composer and also our post sound designer too, like, we just wanted to hear everyone out, and it created like a really nice heartwarming family feeling of like, oh, I can do this because, like, say like our post sound person Nicola, like on some of the stuff that he works on, he's not allowed to have as much creative input
Right.
this. So like for this, it's like we wanted to create like a playground, and like everyone was able to voice it, and if it worked, which it most of the time did, it worked. And also like we wanted everyone to have fun during the whole experience, because ultimately this movie, it wasn't really made for anyone outside of me and Harrison and our friends. Like we wanted to do something that was for us and to show us as a calling card for us as actors, but we didn't expect it to have as much attention as it did, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I think that's brilliant. That's brilliant independent filmmaking. You guys have a family. It's a collective. Everybody's involved, having a good experience. It has to be a good experience, and it shows in the film. You feel that in the movie.
Well, that's a technique to carry with you for the rest of your life, your career, because I've noticed that when the kind of work I do on films and TV shows, when I'm given freedom, creative freedom, it gives me, it tells me that this is the reason they hired me. It's because they want me. They want what I can do, and they know that I can do it, and they let me do it. And I feel like, okay, if you're going to treat me with respect like that, I'm going to give you 500%, and I'm going to love this project, and I'm going to enjoy it, and that's a healthy set.
Yeah. Especially for independent film, right? Like, we all do it because we love it. And, if we didn't, like, there's many other industries that we could get that pay a lot more, so.
Yeah. Pension plan and all that.
Our VFX person, Justin H. Crowell, like he's so amazing at his job. And when we created our song for our movie, like he was like, oh, actually, I've always wanted to direct a music video. And because like he asked, and
it was great.
Why not? Like, so yeah, he became our director for our music video that was the climax of our movie.
That's
awesome.
That.
It was so good. Well, you can tell there's a lot of love in the movie. Like you can tell you guys love the movie. Everybody was getting along. You love each other. It's like this great emotional core that I think really helped. It's not just like, big goofy movie. Like there's that element that's really good in that I loved. And I think part of that was the great footage that you guys have of like you as kids. And like dropping that in, like was that part of the idea from the very beginning, or is that something like the editor brought in, or did you always plan to throw in all of the little old Instagram photo?
that is really big shout out to our editor, because initially when we had the kids, they were just going to be a plot point to get us to the old DV camera footage, which would then get us into filming the movie with the DV camera. And as we were editing, the editor was like, well, I really love the kids footage, and it really feels like the heart of the movie. And he really wanted it to feel more like a coming of age type of film that he really saw in the footage. So he asked if we could actually go back and shoot more footage with the kids.
Oh,
So we
love
went
it.
back and we shot a couple more hours with the kids, and the
That's
kids
nice.
really became an integral part of the film. And
Absolutely.
And it
a
was
lot
so
of people,
authentic. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people love the kids. They're always like, wait, that wasn't you guys as kids? Because it
It
just
looked
feels
like you
like,
guys. I was shocked to hear it wasn't.
yeah,
That's amazing. It looks so
yeah.
legit. That's
Yeah.
fun.
And our
So-
editor, Michael Scotty Jr., by the way, like he's
Uh,
outstanding.
Oh,
a great editor always makes a movie for
Editors are
Yeah.
magical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Editors are the things that
Yeah.
people don't realize how much importance.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
so you have
especially
your.
for this film.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No,
go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, like, especially for this film, because there was so much improv involved that you could give it to 5 different editors and you'd have 5
Yeah.
different versions of the movie. So,
Wow.
yeah, he was super integral to the whole thing.
But you work closely with the editor yourselves, right?
We basically lived with our editor. That couch was like my sanctuary. We became really close friends. Me and Michael, we actually went to Hong Kong together to do one of the film festivals
Oh.
because Harrison
Oh,
couldn't.
nice.
That's
Thanks,
cool.
Harrison. Yeah, but like we became like one big happy family. He makes us Italian food. I play with his cats. Like, like it's one of the best things about making this movie is just making so many new friends from like
Yeah.
the industry that we've never been able to come in contact with before, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
No, it does. Absolutely.
So yeah, like to anyone listening, make sure you treat your editor well because they really are so integral. And I mean, treat every single person well, duh. But like,
All those other people's feelings are hurt now.
yeah, everyone you heard. But like, yeah, big shout out to Michael because like I'm so glad that I found his phone number on his website and gave him a call and asked him to do it, and he said yes.
See, I think it's
Yeah.
amazing you guys just reached out to strangers while you were putting your movie together, like the director, the editor, and then everybody was down for it. That's really cool. I
Yeah.
mean, you
Shut
think that
mouths,
you'd be
don't get fed.
Yeah.
exactly. Don't work with
Well,
friends.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it though, like, is like we did a lot of research into, like, Ivan, for example. Like, he looked at every comedy short that was at a major festival in the last couple of years,
Mm.
and feature. Yeah,
And features. Okay.
yeah.
So here's a
it's-
question. You know, tell our viewers a little bit about this, the story about the movie, because it's a film within a film within a film, which is, I think, is just hard. I don't know how you keep that in your head as you're making a film, honestly.
No.
But give us the little pitch.
It's like a
for,
Christopher Nolan kind of
Pitch.
movie. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like Tenet, you know, everything's moving backwards and then forwards.
Inside out.
Extremely Unique Dynamic is a queer Asian meta stoner coming of age romantic dramedy about two guys making a movie about two guys making a movie about two guys making a movie, and it's their last weekend together before Harrison's character moves away to Canada. They've always been kind of codependent on each other, especially my character, Ivan or Daniel. And we just want to create like a lasting memory, and Harrison's character only cared about the business and the marketing and becoming famous, and all Ivan wanted to do was to just create good moments and just spend his last weekend together with his bestest friend ever before everything changes, because he wants to have a family and have a new life with his beautiful fiance. And I'm about to cry.
You don't sound bitter at all.
He's in Los Angeles while he's in Canada right now.
How can you do that to him, Harrison? How could you do that?
It's just my character. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's not me.
That's obviously Ryan.
That's obviously writing. I didn't do that. That's Ryan. So how did you find your guest cameos? You had Hudson. You had who was the influencer? Where did you find him?
Hudson. Nathan Doan is a friend of a friend. I asked my
Okay.
basically I just asked my other friend, like, hey, are there any of your friends that are interested in acting that you think might have been a good fit? And he recommended Nathan. Nathan is like one of the top Gen Z like gamer content person, and he was outstanding. His deadpanness was just so
It was so good.
And Hudson, we're Fortnite friends, so we were playing video games.
Fortnite.
I know. And then I was like, "Hey, Hudson, do you want to do this movie with us?" And then Hudson was like, "Yeah, but I'm in Harvard." And I was like, "Oh, dang it, it's not going to work out." And he was like, "Oh, I'm down to just come down." And he did, and he did the scenes, and it was amazing. And then we ate 2 breakfast burritos afterwards.
That's
So
perfect.
it's basically a day of him walking in the room and leaving. Is that
Quintessential set food.
Oh, that was after set. That was after.
Oh, okay.
oh, that was later.
That was like a midnight breakfast burrito.
Ah,
Yeah.
So you have your movie. You're like, yes, we have a movie. What happens next?
We were hoping to get into some film festivals. Right? We were just hoping to get into like 1 or 2 film festivals. And actually, I'm talking way too much. Harrison.
No, keep talking. You're
Oh,
good.
really? Okay, so
Don't need to moderate.
I'm just trying to make sure that we're sharing equally, okay? But like, yeah, we got into this amazing film festival called Sonoma International Film Festival. The director is Carl Spence, and and Amanda and Oscar. We were so surprised that they wanted to highlight us for their gala. So we had like a cool party afterwards too. But like that was our very first film festival, so we didn't know what was happening. We got flown into the airport and we were just looking around and we spotted John Cameron Mitchell there and was like, "Oh, did I get a ride from you?"
Yeah, that's cool.
So
Wow.
funny. That's so
So,
cool.
yeah, I just came up to John and was like, "Hey, are we supposed to ride with you?" And John was like, I know that he was supposed to pick up 2 other people, but like, so are you guys it?" And we were like, we didn't know that filmmakers were supposed to go to the festival by ourselves. It's like, I guess I must.
yeah.
We've never done this before.
Yeah, that's where that festival was so special because like we met our distributor Strand Releasing there, Marcus there. We met so many amazing journalists there, and just amazing filmmakers that we actually became good friends with to this day. It was a very special film festival that I recommend all of you guys to go to.
That's
Oh yeah, yeah.
Film festivals are amazing. I had
Yeah.
a short film years ago, and when you go and meet other filmmakers, those smaller ones tend to be the ones where you're actually meeting people. It's not this sort of like, Sundance where it's a factory and your films don't
Right.
get in. You're actually meeting people that can be real connections for you for future films.
Yeah.
So that's a great experience. And speaking of future films, what's next for you guys? I mean, are you thinking about another film? Have you written something? Is that still in the sort of the beginning stages?
We have a few ideas in the works right now. We would love to do a TV series, but like we would just love to just continue working together. Right now we're still working on a lot of this stuff, so we're not ready to talk about it unless Harrison's
Right.
ready to talk about it.
Oh, there's
Yeah, don't
Well,
reveal
no.
the
Well-
trade secrets here, but just knowing
did
that you guys are
also-
working on some more stuff is good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we did act in a horror movie together
which
that
one?
our friend wrote. It's called Near Death, and it's coming out probably next year. We actually
Cool.
might do a couple more shots next month. But it was fun because it was our first time since our movie and actually ever that we had worked in a project together. And we're not directing it or writing or producing it. We're just actors in it. So
Right.
it was cool to see that
That's fun.
our friend had seen our movie and wanted to write characters for us based
That's
off of what they
awesome.
saw in the film. So that was a lot of fun.
That's very cool. I
That's
love it.
great. You know, the big question that we always like to ask filmmakers is the sort of Cinemando question is, what are the movies or what is that movie or movies that motivated you when you were younger to made you the kind of person who would want to make a movie?
That's right.
Who should go first?
Oh, it's up to you guys.
Ivan, I know what you're going to say. Go for it.
Oh,
I know what you're gonna say. So
You want me to answer for you and then you answer for me?
yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to be Ivan for a second.
Oh, let me get you up there then.
All right. So the movie that caused me to want to be a filmmaker was Legally Blonde, because you have Elle Woods, who went to Harvard to become a lawyer and defied all expectations and succeeded. And when all the odds were stacked against her, she was able to do what everyone said she wouldn't be able to.
Right.
And it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh.
Wow.
that
Was that good? Was that good enough?
That was my explanation is much better
Your
than
explanation is better. You could add on to that. Yeah, yeah.
that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but like, you know, if no one believed in her at first, like, and then she becomes like, she just kept defying everyone's expectations, and that always motivated me, like, oh, if Elle Woods can do it, I can do it too. But I also, you know, Craig Johnson movies, I just love. There's just such a freedom in his movies. Like when I see his performances and his actors, I just love it so much. And you know, person being of Wallflower, obviously. But let me become Harrison now.
Okay.
I am Harrison. I love the movie Click by Adam Sandler because I'm an emotionless human being, and I can't believe a movie that could be so funny can make me cry like a little baby. I just never felt something like that. I didn't know movies can make me feel things. And yeah,
How was that?
yeah.
Not bad. I mean, like that's definitely one of them, and another one is actually $1 Million Baby because
Wow.
Oh yeah.
it was the first time that I cried in a movie, and
Oh wow.
I was like, I was a very emotional.
Uh-oh.
I'll do it. He's
You
My
got
eyes
a little
out.
bit emotional there.
Oh no! Did I freeze?
You
Yeah.
froze for a second.
Do it
Oh
again, do it
no!
again.
I was so
And then
crying. No.
Ivan's gonna fill in.
Yeah, I was crying, and I was like, "Why am I crying? Movies can make me feel things."
Yeah.
And I actually have before Letterboxd was cool.
Excel sheet for it.
I have an Excel sheet for every movie that I've ever watched, and
Wow.
it's ranked in
do?
order. Yep, and
Wow.
there's 3 columns. One's acting, one's writing cinematography, one's entertainment value.
Wow.
And I have this. I know I'm so nerdy.
No, I have a
And,
list. I have lists like
I
that.
want to
too.
Yeah.
see it.
Yes, I'll send it to you all after. But $1 Million Baby is my number one, just because I
Okay.
ranked them based off of how I felt when I first watched them.
And I know
And
hold up because everyone's like,
I know,
"Oh,
there you
really? I think if you watch it again, you won't feel." But I can't watch it again because like I just don't want to ruin the first feel. Maybe someday.
I think movies are like music. I listen to music over and over, and I can watch movies over and over. There's
I love
movies that I watch during different parts of my life. I watched, I watch a movie when I'm a young person, and it meant this to me. And then I watch it again as a grown up, more of a grown up, and it means something completely different. And then as a sort of older person, I watch it and it means a completely different thing. That's sort of the gift of a great film, that it keeps delivering new messages to you all through your life.
Yeah. And that would be an Ashley for me.
And for me, that is
Oh my gosh! Look, okay, so you
Wow.
have
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. What are the other posters? up
Oh,
You're a big Adam Sandler fan.
I am. I'm just like his old movies I used to watch all the time. That was like my comfort.
We all have our
Comedy.
comfort foods.
I'm just trying to
and
see if
comfort
I did
films.
any of those posters.
It's a Forrest Gump up there. I think.
My posters up there?
Forrest Gump is up there, yeah.
But it's obvious that you guys are great friends, and your relationship is wonderful. It shows through in the movie too. And so I think everybody who's watching this should go and seek this film out because you get to see this dynamic. Pardon the pun. So thanks so much, guys, for coming on, and
it was
it's been
so
really fun.
You guys are very inspiring because
Yeah.
the dream has always been I'd love to make a movie. Oh, I can. I'm not good enough. I don't have time. But when I see a movie like this and it came out so good, and you guys clearly had so much passion, it's like, I can do it. So you're kind of like my Legally Blonde inspiration.
So Kathy's gonna send you a script and get you guys to make her film.
Well, I was going to ask, flipping it onto you all, extremely Kathy, unique Mark, and dynamic Burk. What is the next movie that you 3 are making? Because you 3 have an extremely unique dynamic.
You guys are
to do that.
We're
Oh,
actually talking about it. We have written a bunch of stuff and
some shorts.
we've all made
Yeah.
films. Mark has made short films. Kathy has written. I've been writing my whole life, and I've made a ton of films. I made a bunch of music videos and things
cool.
like that, and
Yeah.
animation. I do a lot of animation and things like that. So we all make things. You know, we all have
But
you
Make
know
things.
do
Like
music and
the motivation here is that you guys did it, and again, you know, however it came up.
yeah.
And and for us, it's like, hey, do we have the time, or do we have,
Oh, got the money.
it's a lot of sort of bullshit, honestly.
I
The
know. You gotta get
originated
past
money.
it, like you guys.
Yeah,
Just
so,
get past it.
but when you make it, it's such a gratifying experience. And when people see it at a festival and are moved by it or enjoy it in whatever way, then you go, oh, I want to do this again right away. What's the next thing? So,
Yeah.
I'm happy that it's worked out for you guys, and getting something released, you know, and distributed is a key too. And so
So major.
Yeah.
Awesome.
and all these
Yeah,
wonderful
marketing.
reviews.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, marketing. Woo!
Flex.
Yeah.
Marketing. Yeah. Did you do the poster? I'll just drag this out for one more second. So
Yeah.
the poster is very cool. Did you have anything to do with the marketing for your own movie?
So, one of the agencies I work with a lot for my film marketing work, I just asked them if they could help me with it, and they did me a huge favor. Same with the trailer. One of my good friends is a trailer editor. He did us a huge favor. The social
Nice.
pages is just us. Like, we have run it. Ivan had a really good friend, Francis, who was our creative director on it, that helped us create a lot of the assets too. So it was a small but mighty team.
What was the agency?
Max Stacks Media.
Oh, interesting. I've not heard of them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look them up. It's such a
Yeah,
small
yeah.
industry. Like
Yeah.
I've worked at like 3 or 4 agencies around town. I've worked like on the studio side, I worked on the agency side.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like everybody kind of knows each other. So probably if
Yeah.
I look at their LinkedIn or something, I'll see probably people I worked with because we all just kinda work inside the system.
I feel like we need to have a whole other conversation about marketing stuff too.
We should. I would love to actually. I would
Yes.
love to hear it. I'd love to hear it from your point of view. So funny. What about you, Ivan? Do you have anything to say about marketing?
Honestly, I knew nothing about marketing before I started working with Harrison, and now I'll just talk about it. I'm like, oh, did I pick the wrong profession? And Harrison, please keep hiring me. I'll be a good worker, Harrison. And now I have Kathy as well. Oh,
That's right.
You want me to do something? Oh, type.
I know who we need to hire. We need to hire Ivan to work on our social media.
Yeah, and I'll be your queer Asian stoner bear, ready to just read everyone's film.
We need those. We need that. I love it. Oh my god, this was so fun. I love talking to movie people.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
This is so
And
Well,
we would
you know, when you
love to
love
have
this-
you on again for sure.
The world in which movies get made is a really fascinating place. It always has been to me. I've been doing it for that many years, and every time I walk onto a working set, I feel that this is a magical place. This is where
I come home.
and I walk through backlots. You know, when I worked at all the backlots, I've worked on all of them, and I walk through them, and I'm like, God, I'm on sacred ground here. This is where this is my holy land, you know.
Mhm.
And I still feel that way. I still feel like you were talking earlier about the film that made you cry, and I think many films have made me cry and made me into the person, developed me as a human being, and told me how to live and showed me how people think, because you're not just watching a movie, you're watching something that was written by a human being that came from their heart, and it's a direct form of communication. I think it gives us the inner life of other people.
That's right.
Yeah. Like, after making this movie, like I watch film in such a different perspective, because like it's not just a piece of, it's a piece of art, but like sometimes I feel like people see movies as just products.
Yeah.
And you don't see like the amount of hours and the amount of time and the amount of like heartache or like all this stuff that you just turn on Netflix and see like everything that you watch. It was someone's whole life.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting to watch in that perspective and just feel like appreciation and gratefulness for us to escape reality a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And
Well
it's,
said.
absolutely makes sense.
it's such a miracle for any film to get made, but it's
It
also
really
a
is.
miracle for anyone to watch an independent film because there's such
Yeah.
a sea of content out there. So we really
Yes.
appreciate you three taking a chance and watching
Yes.
our film too.
Oh, it was it
Oh,
was
so
our
good.
pleasure. And our guests have been Ivan Leung and Harrison Shu, who are the filmmakers of extremely unique dynamic. Check it out. It's well worth your time.
Yeah.
And thanks, guys. Stay
We're
on
going to keep you
Twitter.
on our radar. We're going to keep up with everything you do.
You're on our radar
Yes.
Yes. Whether you like it or not.
in a not creepy way.
Yeah.
Oh, be creepy if you want.
Maybe a little creepy. It might be a little creepy. Yeah.
All right, guys.
But thanks
Stay
so much
on for
for
a second
talking with
after
us.
sign
Yeah.
off. So
Stay
don't
on
go
after
Okay,
this.
yes.
And we'll
Okay. Bye.
take care.
Hi guys. Bye.